All right, we have a Plat 5 Ana slash Brig slash Moira. Now, if you want to coach yourself, feel free to join the Discord, as well as make sure to like and subscribe. Right, we're going to speed up right here. Okay. All right. So preferably instead of like kind of just like sitting right out here and like just walking back and forth like that, play like these corners like a little bit more aggressively. Play like right here or play like right here, just so like just in case you ever get shot at or anything. Because if you're kind of like walking back and forth like this wide open, if like let's say for example the soldier peeks right there, shoots a helix at you and then just shoots you, you don't have enough time to like rotate either right there or right there. So just keep that in mind that you want to like play a little bit more cover.
Flashpoint unlocked.
Okay. Once again, that's the reason why I'm saying like cover right there. Although you were able to kill the hog right there, if it wasn't for the Sombra hack, there is a very good chance that you probably could have gotten hooked there. Would you have died? More than likely not, but there is a slight chance that you could have died. I'd say there's about like 30% chance you would have died and like 70% chance you would have survived that. So just keep that in mind that like just position like right over here, you probably wouldn't have gotten hooked. And you probably would have been a little bit more safe. Especially if you didn't have a Sombra right there. You would have gotten hooked right there, and there like is a chance that you could have died. As well as throw a nade right there. And not the best throwing nade at the Genji right there, just because you already have like 3 players on them. So your best bet probably would have been to either throw a nade on the Kiri if you didn't recognize that there was 2 players over here shooting. And if you did recognize that like the other 2 players are over here, they're shooting, just peek over, throw a nade on them, get them to both back up. And I mean, either you can try to contest them 1v2, or you can kind of sit back a little bit if you think that it might be a little too risky, and maybe just try to help your Sombra out with the Kiriko right there. Yeah, that was perfect right there, helping out the Kiri with the, or helping out the Sombra with the Kiri. A little too risky to like dive or try to 1v2 right over here. So best bet, just wait for your team to kind of regroup, or wait for your team to finish them off. All right, a little bit pointless kind of like walking back over there. You should kind of like try to regroup with your team a little bit. Now, I'm not saying like walk all the way up. I don't think you're going to do that. Now, I mean, if you're going to sit over in this area, you can either position yourself right there, or preferably where I would probably position, I'd probably try to position myself right here, and if they dive, just walk back.
My ultimate is charging.
Or if they push forward, you just walk back. Oh. Okay, we're good. Accidentally press LT 2 times. Okay. All right. So using your nade on the Sombra right there was very questionable. And the reason why I say it's very questionable is because, I mean, you're going to need your nade like right now, and you're going to use it aggressively instead of using it as heals. And the reason why I say that is because there was literally 4 people in this room right here. If you would have waited for the D.Va to like the second she undms and throw your nade in there, there's a good chance that you're going to get that nade off. And if you get that nade off, that's 4 people inside, and then your team's just going to crunch down on them, and they're all going to die. As well as make sure like you should have been rotating like a little bit more soon right there.
Taking care of you.
Right. As well as once again, I prefer you to kind of just like rotate and maybe just keep playing that as cover, but just keep backing up a little bit, and maybe even try to like position yourself like maybe even right back here if you can. If you can't, then just drop down. But playing point right here, or just even trying to play here, they're going to keep pushing up, so you're going to have to push back. All right. Nice nano. I don't hate that nano at all. He was able to get a kill with it. Nice sleep. D.Va was able to get another kill with your Genji on that. Yeah, nice nano. Nice nano. Nice getting out the damage on the soldier. Then nice sleep on the D.Va. Nice getting the damage out on the D.Va. Like everything that you just did right there, perfect. All right.
Taking
We're
care
gonna speed up right here.
of nodding off.
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah, your best bet probably would have been. Oh, sorry. Your best bet probably would have been just to keep like walking back in a way. I mean, regardless, there might be a chance that you're gonna die. Or regardless, you're probably gonna die right there because they're kind of crunching down and you're not able to like. I mean, if you would have been able to read it and maybe back up just a little bit more sooner, would have been able to work out. But I mean, not gonna blame you for that death. They were kind of just like crunching down. Soldier used ult, so it would have been pretty tough. All right, so I'm a little bit confused what just happened right there though. Like the second you watched your D.Va go over there, I'm kind of a little bit confused why you just kept watching over here and then you started walking forward a little bit. You probably should just kept backing up, and then as soon as the D.Va starts like notice you, she's probably gonna dive you exactly like she did right there. Just wait a little bit for her to use DM, shoot her a bunch of times. The second she on DMs, sleeper, keep walking back. Rotate like right over here, and I'd say by time you get like right here, D.Va's gonna be back, and then you should be good enough to like just either rotate here. You can play like right here. Preferably, this is probably the best spot to play, like right over there. Or you can either play these two corners right here, but those two corners right there are a little bit risky because they can kind of just get you stuck in that corner.
I'm not finished.
Yeah, just keep in mind that like you kind of want to be a little bit more patient if D.Va dives you like that when it comes to sleep. You I think you panicked a little bit and you just like instantly spam sleep. Especially a good D.Va, they're gonna notice or they're gonna recognize to like instantly eat that because they know you're gonna sleep there. Okay. Once again, exactly what I'm saying. Way too early on the sleep. You're not going to be able to like it's going to be a miracle if you're able to sleep that Genji somehow like that. So back up, take your time, wait until the Genji like right here would have been the perfect time. Sleep the Genji, shoot him once, anti him, finish him off, and then maybe just maybe your team might actually be able to make a play off in that. Okay.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I mean, once again, I actually don't even hate that nano.
What the norm?
EMP activated.
Okay, pushing up a little bit, like too close right there. Wouldn't necessarily recommend. And the reason why I say I wouldn't necessarily recommend that is because, I mean, just look where you're at. You're 1000% killable. Once again, you can kind of position yourself like right here. Position yourself like right over here. Either those two spots right there. A little bit too risky. Now, I didn't hate the nano on the Mauga right there. And the reason why I don't really hate that is because it genuinely was you were able to like completely push them all the way back. But you kind of pushed a little bit too close right there. I mean, if you would have been able to like sit back a little bit, maybe you would have been able to keep the Sombra alive right there. Maybe you would have been able to get some more damage out like right there, right there. Yeah, in result, you kind of pushed up way too close and now you died. And what turned into like a pretty fairly decent nano actually turned into a team fight loss. Now, would it probably have been a team fight loss regardless, even if you wouldn't have died to the D.Va bomb? Yeah. And it's just really unfortunate that 3 people died to that D.Va bomb. Or mainly just the Genji and the Mauga dying to the Genji bomb. You should have been positioned just a little bit further back. Nothing you could have done to prevent the Mauga or the Genji from dying to that. Yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, now we got Brig. Preferably try to stay like above 37%, I'd say, with Inspire. Sometimes like you won't be able to get that much, just depending on the comp. But 90% of the time, you should be able to get like right around above 37%. As long as you're constantly looking for damage. Like I tested this out in a Masters lobby. because the last Brig video, somebody said that a good amount for Brig is like 30 to 35%, and I decided I would like test it out myself. I was able to like average right around the 42 to 49%. So, I mean, if I can average 42 to 49% in Masters, I think you guys can easily average that in Platinum. So once again, just the way to average that is constantly be looking for boops, constantly be looking for damage, constantly be looking to just overall assist your team. Now, I'm not saying full send it into the enemy team. I wouldn't want to see you full send it into the enemy team. I'd rather just see you be able to like boop at, for example, right there against the Genji. But preferably, like, you should have noticed that like they're probably gonna need help sooner, and you probably should have dove like a little bit more sooner right there and just let the tank get point real quick, just so you can assist your team over there. Thankfully though, they were fine because they had the mercy, but probably would have been a little bit more help if you would have went over there sooner, is what I'm trying to get at. As well as a little bit of an too like early of a boop, I guess, in a way. Now what you could do is you could have kind of like pushed up a little bit right here, maybe peeked over here for a second, gotten a boop, and then just instantly walk back, maybe like play right here and then kind of just walk back a little bit and play like right over there. You can kind of get away with playing like a little bit more closer and a little bit more aggressive, playing in Platinum. But once again, you don't want to play too aggressive. Like right there, how you're playing that and like how you kind of pushed up like a little bit too aggressive right there, that kind of scared me, and there was a good chance that you could have died if, for example, you were like Plat 2. There's a good chance that you could have died to that. All right. Yeah, once again, so with Brig, you're gonna want to like mainly use your shield bash to like as movement in a way. So for example, instead of just holding shield against an ulting soldier and an ulting Juno, you turn around, you shield bash back, and then you keep walking back. Now regardless, I mean, are you gonna survive a ulting Juno slash soldier right there? More than likely not. That like alt combo is pretty dangerous. He's probably gonna melt everybody. But yeah, just keep that in mind. That even though like regardless you weren't gonna be able to win that team fight, you probably could have turned around a little bit more sooner. Probably could have gotten out a little bit more sooner. All right.
Let's move.
So once again, as well, I'd like to see you keep constantly swinging your mace. I don't want to see you not swing it, because you can accidentally maybe just get like a hit off, and if you get that hit off, you can keep building that Inspire up. As well as right there, kind of like threw it in. I don't even think you're really focusing on anybody right there. Try to get maybe the Junker Queen right there, or maybe even the Reaper right there. I don't hate that the like where you're positioned right there, but preferably I'd rather have you like a little bit further back and just be ready to like kind of back up if your team's backing up and be able to like shield bash out. But you want to keep like that Reaper or that Junker Queen a little bit more further back. Fortunately though, you didn't really use your shield bash right there at all. You kind of, or your bash right there at all, or your boop right there is what I'm trying to say. I don't even know why I kept saying shield dash. Your boop right there, you didn't really use it at all. In result, like Junker Queen did one axe swing and was able to get like quite a bit of ult charge, I believe, off from it. And in result, now she has ult, and it might be a little bit too late. So yeah, and now unfortunately you missed your boop again. So yeah, just try to keep that in mind. Be a little bit more accurate with your boops. Try to boop anybody who's going to be diving in. For example, Reaper, possibly even Kiri. That usually comes like a little bit later and a little bit more in higher ranks. Be ready to like even boop Junker Queen ult. You can boop her off to the side, I believe, if you perfectly time it. But yeah. Anyway, just keep that in mind. Right. So I love and hate that ult, actually. I love that you ulted there. but I hate the reason why you ulted there. So the reason why I'm saying that is because you ulted there, but I know for a fact that you ulted not knowing the Reaper was going to ult. If you would have like waited possibly for a second, waited for the like if you just knew that the Reaper was going to ult there, make sure you're ult tracking, make sure you know like who has ult and who might not have ult. For example, you saw that the Reaper like basically hadn't used ult the entire time, so there's a good chance that he probably does have ult. Sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background. So the second you see him do ult, you just hold your shield at him and then ult, and then it regens your shield, and then you can bash him. Preferably, I'd like to use your ult as soon as you see him use that, and then you can cancel his ult out, swing, mace him, see if you can kill him. Perfect. That was perfect. I like the reason why you ulted that, but unfortunately, you ulted a little bit too early. And like the purpose wasn't there, but it was a good ult. Again. Perfect, right there. You actually could have played like a little bit more aggressive on that Junker Queen right there, just because I don't think she was mainly focusing on you. Yeah, dude, I like the fact that like, I mean, you're getting good enough boops, but I mean, overall though, you're not swinging your mace, and it's very much annoying me. Swing your mace. There's no reason to not swing your mace. As well as, okay, I'm hoping you survive this. All right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, for example, you can keep shield bashing as movement. You want to use your shield bash more as movement rather than getting out damage. Nice. Perfect. Perfect example right there. Use it as movement. Thankfully, you're able to survive that.
Much better.
Get off your phone. Especially you're in mid-fight, dude.
Here, take this.
I don't know what you're doing, if you're eating food or anything like that. Not mid-fight. Maybe when you're dead you can do that, but not mid-fight. Very dangerous. As well as, keep in mind, I've noticed this like a few times, but just like your shield does not regen when you have it out. But when you have it like secured and you're not using it, it then regens. So just keep that in mind. All right, yeah, a little bit confused why you kind of like rotated around like that. A little bit confusing. Probably could have like just have a little bit more situational awareness, like peek right over here. You watch the Junker Queen push up, boop her back, and then just overall like you can kind of shield bat. You'd probably be best if you like shield bash, maybe position yourself like a little bit more further back for a second. Heal whoever needs to be healed. I think overall you're not doing like the worst on healing wise when it comes to the packs. Inspire wise, definitely need to be focused on Inspire a little bit more. Need to build up that Inspire a little bit more, as well as your shield bash. Okay, another tip, you're finally starting to use it as movement, but just wait off the cool. You can walk normally and then use it when you're off the cooldown. Don't like kind of hold it down and then slowly walk and then shield bash, because then you're just getting the same distance. Okay. Once again as well, I wouldn't even hate if you like kind of walked up here a little bit and played like right here in a way, and then got like a boop off if you can, and then kind of just shield bash out, and then kind of like position yourself like maybe right over here. If they start playing a little bit more closer, boop them, walk back a little bit more further. Just keep like playing a little bit more safe. You don't want to like play DPS Brig, and you don't want to like be playing Reinhardt type Brig. Brig is mainly meant for stopping characters like dive, stopping any sort of dive. So for example, I mean, I think I've already said this, Reaper, Curie, like higher ranks. Yeah, once again, right there exactly is a good example of like kind of playing a little bit too aggressive, like right there. So you could have easily like kind of started swinging right there, but the second you see that Junker Queen grab out that axe, turn around instantly, back up a little bit. I preferably probably out this way, right over here. You're going to position yourself like right out of here, and then when the Queen ults, you boop her. Right, we're gonna speed up right here.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay, you do have your ult. Preferably though, I don't want to see you go in right now. Your Genji's dead.
Special delivery.
Let your Genji die. Regroup. Walk back. Perfect.
I'm ready to rally. Patching you up. Jump. I can protect you. Rally to me.
Okay.
I've got you in my sights.
Hey, here, take this. I'm coming, don't break now.
Nice boop. Nice boop again. Unfortunately though, unfortunately right there, your Ryan kind of pinned in again. As well as I think you used your ult like a little bit too early right there. I don't really think there's much of a reason to use your ult.
Temple. Next flashpoint.
I got you.
Shows him why it doesn't pay to be the enemy.
Shields under fire.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10
Heroes
seconds.
never die.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Reaper's dead. Right here you can play aggressive. Perfect. It's just cleanup mode, so you can play aggressive. Preferably though, I wouldn't like to see you like kind of sitting out in the open like that, especially back on that point. Like sitting back in that too close back in that corner right there was a little too risky. But yeah. Anyway, try to play like a little bit more cover in a way with Brig. Because I've noticed a few times you kind of like walking out in the wide open. Sitting a little bit AFK right there.
Special delivery.
Time for the reckoning!
Don't fix it.
The dragon becomes me.
Enemy seen.
Let's actually go back and watch that. I'm not even gonna lie, my brain kind of just like shut off right there. All right. So,
Don't fix it.
okay, you got yourself stuck in the corner right there in result, and I mean, overall, kind of like a little bit too separated from your team right there to begin with. I think kind of sitting right AFK right over here kind of like cost you a little bit. You dashed forward and then tried to knock the queen off the edge right there. Just your whole team right there, I'd say overall was just pretty dysfunctional.
I'll try a different approach.
Humanity is shackled.
All
I
right,
will find the
now
key.
here comes the Moira.
Fall back.
Join with me. It's about to get real. For the parched.
Fall back.
Right.
Group up here.
I will keep you safe.
Be nourished. Eyes open now.
Okay. A little bit of awareness right there. Just be aware of your soldier right there. You probably could have even stayed like back here for a second, and then you would have been able to like more than likely easily peel for your soldier right there. The soldier was savable, and I think you're like kind of too hyper focused on the Reinhardt right here. But you probably could have been able to save him when the queen walked past.
For the Crusaders!
Fortunate. Make sure you're being a little bit more safe instead of walking straight in against the Reaper ult right there. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it might have actually been best if you would have saved Brig right there just for the ult wise. Because now it's a little bit too late.
I've dealt with cynics before.
Maybe, just maybe, you might be able to get one more touch here.
Receive my aid.
Looking satellite picture.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you probably would have been best if you just would have stayed Brig right there, just mainly for the ult wise.
My duty is
Okay. as well as playing Moira. I play a like very aggressive, very damage wise with Moira. So for example, right there, probably when you're healing like the Reinhardt right here, probably could have just kept like walking right around here, maybe getting a little bit of damage right here, maybe getting a little bit of damage right here. Just try to distract as much people as you possibly can, so the Reinhardt, you can kind of enable the Reinhardt a little bit, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, probably should have kept focusing on the Curie right there. You 1,000,000,000% should have been focusing on the Curie. You kind of like switched targets when the Curie was one tap right there, and now in result, the Curie is going to survive that.
Heroes never die.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, Curie was able to survive that. If you would have focused on that Curie right there, killed that Curie, and then focused on the Juno afterwards, there's actually a chance you might have been able to win that and survive that. But unfortunately, you kind of just like switched targets right there, and that simple mistake right there costed the whole entire game. So overall, let's talk about everything that you need to work on. Also, sorry if I seemed like a little bit distracted. I was a little bit distracted towards the more towards like the end of you playing Brig. So sorry about that. But overall, focus on your positioning. Focus on building up Inspire, constantly look for Inspire, constantly swing your mace. I want to see you swing your mace. There's no reason not to swing your mace. Right there, I think actually you could have been able to get like 1 or 2 swings off by accident if you just would have kept swinging your mace right there. So keep that in mind, as well as for Ana, make sure you just can get those antis off on the enemy team. Make sure you can get good sleeps. Make sure you get a good amount of damage out, as well as a good enough healing. Position yourself a little bit more closer to walls, a little bit more closer to AKA natural cover. And yeah, I hope this video helped you out. Once again, sorry for getting like a little bit distracted towards the end of the video. But once again, I hope this video helped you out, and I will see you later.